Hello, welcome to the 42nd edition of Drive-Thru Review. I'd like to introduce my son Timothy. Today we're going to talk about Redakai. I actually got this game from the designer of the game at Gen Con. I didn't expect to get it, but he gave me a couple starter packs to take home and play with my son. And this is my son again, Timothy. And he likes a lot of different kinds of games. What are some games that you like? Glaucus, Sorry Sliders, Carcassonne. What else? Tigris and Euphrates. You like that one? So he likes a few different. Oh, crossbows and catapults. He likes that one a lot. So we haven't really played many card games, and I'll show these cards. You probably won't see them that great here, but they're 3D cards. They're amazing cards as far as the actual component and the quality.
It actually feels like you can actually grab them. And you don't have to wear any 3D glasses or anything.
That's right.
It's really good.
Yeah, you don't need any glasses for these. That's awesome. So the game's really fun. We have a great time playing it. We've been playing it a lot the last few days. So let me cut into and I'll show you a little bit how it works and hopefully give you a good close-up of the cards. And then I'll come back and we'll both share our thoughts. Okay, so the two starter decks that we got were the Redakai deck, and that features Drudger here. And you can kind of see a little bit of 3D of the cards there. And then the Imperia's deck, which features this Night Asp character. And so I think my son likes the Night Asp deck a little bit better than the Drudger deck. The Night Asp deck is a little bit more of a quicker, you kind of need to attack early and often. And this one has a little bit of setup time to kind of get going, where you kind of dig through your discard pile. And actually, come to think of it, if you took these and wanted to build like a competitive deck, it seems to me, I'm no expert by any means, that if you combine some of the cards out of both of these decks, it actually work really well with some of the dumping of powers, and then this one will let you dig the powers out again. So let me just give you a little bit of close-up of the cards there. You can see that. And the cool thing is when you have a character out here like this, and you've probably seen this before if you've looked at this game at all, is you put a card on top of it when you do an attack. And you can kind of see there the attack in motion. And you can also see that I've blocked out and killed one of his hit points. Like that. And there's some text on the cards. But let me get into how the game actually works now a little bit. And I'm just going to talk about the advanced game. The basic game is real basic, so I'm not even going to bother explaining it. But you can play that with like 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds. And this is a little bit more of a step up. Okay, now the starter decks come with these mats, which double as instructions for the game. We don't use these; they're not really required, but they're kind of nice, I guess. But you basically have each person will have 3 character cards they put face up, and then a draw deck and a discard pile. And then there's these tracks here to mark your energy or your influence, and they call it energy Kairu in this game. But we don't use those, and you can actually get some real nice holders and stuff for them. But we haven't found the need to do that necessarily. So we actually take just the dividers here that are in the decks, and then we use these little beads. You could use anything to count your mana. Excuse me, your energy. So you start the game with 3 energy and 3 cards, and then on your turn you increase your maximum energy. So we just put a bead on there, and then you actually draw a card. So the first player is going to start their turn with 4 energy and 4 cards. And there's some different types of cards in the game, but real basically you have got attacks, and you can see the attack value here is 250 green, and this is the amount of hit points that it will erase and turn red, and this is the cost of the card. You see, I wouldn't be able to play this card because it cost me 6. Now if I had this card here, Robots of Doom, it'll hit for 550 green energy, and it costs 4 energy to play. So what we do is we just move these off the card there, and then we go ahead and lay it down on a character.
And it doesn't matter which character, you can put it on any character you want.
As long as it doesn't have more defense in this particular color than what you're showing here. So if I put this on this guy, he's only got 100 green energy, a defense. And so this will be a hit, and you can see this blocks out his hit point, and then you kind of see the effect there of it, hurting the character. And so you basically each person has 3 characters in front of them. As soon as you block out all the yellow spaces here, then you win if you block out all your opponent's yellow spaces.
Or if you run out of cards, the game's over.
That's right. If you run out of cards in your deck, then you lose as well. Another type of card is the monster card. And this is, I think, a really fun part for kids, is you start off with your basic characters, but you can upgrade them to monsters, and you just play that right on top.
And these two guys right here, these guys go very well together.
That's right.
So if you see, you can play 4, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your discard pile.
That's right.
And on this one, you can pay 2 and pull a card
From your discard pile.
from your discard pile out.
Right into your hand. So you can see there's a lot of synergy between this character and this monster here. And so you can see I've upgraded this guy, and if he had had damage on that middle piece, I would have healed that, and then he also would get a new ability there. And like you said, the 2 points of energy to get a card out of your discard pile. And that's pretty much the whole game. You're going to be playing either attacks on your opponent's cards or upgrading your characters to monster cards, giving them new abilities, changing their defense, etc. Another kind of attack you could do is, you can see this doesn't actually do any damage here. This is 450 blue, but if you play that, it'll cover up their defense. And this is called Insanity Ink. So basically, this guy will lose all his defense.
So you could play whatever you want on him.
That's right. Any
No matter
attack
what.
will work on him.
Yeah.
So at the start of your turn, you're going to refresh any energy that you have, and then also add 1 more energy. So you don't have to worry about, mana or not having enough lands if you know Magic. You're always going to be constantly going up a curve of available, cards that you can play for power. So you're always going to refresh your energy, add a new one, and then draw a new card to add to your hand. So it's good. The game doesn't ever bog down into having nothing to do on your turn, and that keeps the game interesting for kids. And another thing that's nice about this game is that you're not just sitting there uninvolved when it's your opponent's turn. You have these cards that will do a react. So if I play this card, I have 2 energy that it costs, and I discard this, and characters on my team have plus 200 defense in all colors for the rest of the turn. So if somebody plays a card, attacking one of my guys, and I can play this paying 2, then I can react and possibly block that attack if I can push my defense up high enough. So it's a good idea to keep, some mana saved for my opponent's turn in case they do something horrendous towards me. And it's real nice. You can see there's not a whole lot to manage, but there's just enough to keep the kids interested. You've got the powers. They kind of, there's some synergy there. There's a management of the energy on your turns. And you basically have 3 areas to play. So there's not a ever-growing, ever-expanding board of options and all these crazy powers you got to keep track of. And it's real simple. It plays quick, and it's fun, and all of the different effects and everything are very thematic and all that good stuff. So one thing that I found actually pretty interesting, and I don't know why, maybe it's just me, is it's very easy to shuffle these cards. So you can kind of see on the back when you're drawing, you can see what kind of card it is. So you can get some kind of placeholder maybe to draw cards out of. But I don't know why, it just boggles my mind. I can shuffle these very easily. Alright, I hope you enjoyed our little overview there. I think this is a good game, a good family game with kids. Like I was saying earlier, it's not too, there's not so many decisions to keep a track of for the kids, but there's enough to kind of introduce them to this sort of mechanic. The card quality, again, is great. Why do you like it?
I like it because it's interesting, and it actually pops out a lot.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun too.
Good. Yeah, it is very fun. Okay. The starter packs and those kind of packs are actually pretty reasonably priced. When you get a booster pack of it, there's actually only 6 cards in there, which I don't know. That's probably my only little quibble. I understand these. The quality of these is really good, so I understand that pricing for sure. But yeah, if you want to go pick up a couple starters of this, it's pretty, comparatively priced with something like Magic or whatever. So I definitely would give it a shot if you want to sort of introduce sort of the trading card. Hopefully not that world to them, but maybe the aspects of the gameplay a little bit and sort of the tactics of combat and things like that. Okay, thanks.